Welcome to this video, my friend. Before we begin, I want you to take a deep breath, because what you're about to hear isn't just another motivational speech. It's a rebuilding plan for your entire life. If you've been feeling broken, tired, unmotivated, or stuck, this video is for you. If you've been smiling in front of everyone but crying when you're alone, this video is for you. And if you've ever looked at yourself in the mirror and whispered, "I don't even recognize who I am anymore," then this video is exactly what you need. Because today, we're not just going to talk about motivation. We're going to rebuild you step by step. We'll start from zero, from the ground, from the pain, from the silence, from the days you couldn't get out of bed. I will walk you through 11 real steps that will help you rebuild your mind, your confidence, your energy, and your life. By the end of this video, you will not just feel motivated for a few minutes. You will understand exactly how to rebuild your life from nothing. And one more thing. This video is also great for your English. You'll learn powerful real-life English through stories, simple sentences, and emotional examples. So even if you're learning English, stay with me till the end. It will not only rebuild your life, but also improve your language and your mindset. So I want you to do one thing right now. Sit back, close every other tab, forget your phone for a few minutes, and listen with your heart. Because this might be the video that changes your life forever. And before we begin, I want you to subscribe to our channel, not just for motivation, but because we create videos that heal you, inspire you, and teach you English at the same time. If you truly want to rebuild your life, start by pressing that subscribe button. Because every single video we make will help you take another step forward. Now let's begin. Let's talk about how to rebuild yourself, step by step. And the first step is one most people never talk about, but it's where real healing begins. Step 1. Clean the rubble. When a building collapses, what do you see? Dust, debris, broken glass, heavy pieces of concrete lying everywhere. Before anyone can build again, they must clean the rubble. They must remove everything that's cracked, dangerous, or rotten. The same thing happens in your life. If you want to rebuild yourself, you can't start on top of the broken pieces. You have to clean the rubble first. You have to clear the emotional, mental, and physical mess that's been blocking your growth. And here's the truth most people never accept. You cannot rebuild your life if you're still holding on to the things that broke you. Cleaning the rubble means removing toxic people who drain your energy every single day. Old memories that live rent-free inside your head and make you doubt yourself. Bad habits that steal your time and give you nothing in return. Negative self-talk that keeps whispering, "You're not good enough." Regret that repeats, "You should have done it differently." Guilt that keeps you stuck in yesterday instead of walking into tomorrow. These are the broken stones lying inside your mind. You can't build a new house on top of them. Because every time you try to stand, you'll keep tripping on the same pieces. Let's make this simple and practical. Imagine your life is like a room after a storm. There's water on the floor, papers everywhere, clothes scattered, and broken glass near the window. You don't start decorating that room immediately, right? You don't buy a new sofa or paint the walls before cleaning the mess. You first roll up your sleeves, throw away the trash, and sweep the floor. Only then does the room become ready for something beautiful. That's exactly what you must do with your life. Start small. Remove one toxic thing today. It could be a person who always criticizes you and makes you feel small. It could be a habit like scrolling endlessly on your phone when you should be working on your dreams. It could be an old photo that keeps reopening a wound. Take a deep breath and let it go. Imagine there was a young man who wanted to change his life. Every morning, he woke up tired, not because he worked hard, but because he lived in the same environment that kept him stuck. Same room, same negative people, same distractions. One day, he looked around and realized his phone was filled with toxic reminders. People he envied, people who hurt him, and people who made him feel behind. That day, he deleted 20 contacts. He unfollowed 10 accounts. He threw away one old gift that reminded him of pain. And that night, he said, "For the first time in years, I feel lighter." That's how you start rebuilding, by removing, not adding. You don't need to change your whole life in one day. You just need to start cleaning one corner at a time. Maybe your corner is your mind, filled with regrets and self-hate. Start by replacing one negative thought with one positive truth. When your mind says, "I'm useless," respond, "I'm still learning." When it says, "I failed," say, "That was a lesson." When it says, "It's too late," answer, "I'm just beginning." Maybe your corner is your environment. Your room is messy, your desk is full of dust, your space feels heavy. Clean it today. Because your physical space shapes your mental space. When you clean your environment, your thoughts become lighter too. And maybe your corner is your relationships. Some people are like weeds in your garden. They look small, but they kill everything growing around them. It doesn't mean you hate them. It means you're protecting your peace. You can love someone and still walk away if their presence is destroying your growth. So here's your task after this video. Delete one contact who brings you down. Unfollow 3 accounts that make you feel behind. Throw away one thing that carries your pain. Write one positive sentence about yourself and repeat it before you sleep. Because cleaning is not just about removing dust. It's about removing what no longer serves your future. And you'll notice something beautiful when you do this. At first, you'll feel sad, like losing something familiar. But slowly, you'll start feeling lighter. You'll breathe easier. You'll think clearer. Because you've just created space. Space for the new version of you to exist. Remember this. Rebuilding your life doesn't start by adding more. It starts by removing what's killing you silently. When you clean the rubble, you make room for strength, peace, and clarity. Only then can you lay a new foundation. That's step 1. Clean the rubble. It's the first and most important step because you can't rebuild on broken ground. Step 2. Forgive the old you. Before you can rebuild your life, you must forgive the person you used to be. Most people try to start over while secretly hating themselves. They carry invisible guilt everywhere they go. They say things like, "I wasted so many years. I ruined everything. I disappointed my family. I'm not the kind of person who deserves a second chance." And because of those thoughts, they stay trapped. They don't rebuild. They repeat. Forgiveness is not about pretending the past never happened. It's about accepting that it did happen and choosing not to live there anymore. The old you was not evil. The old you was only trying to survive with the knowledge and strength you had at that time. You made mistakes because you didn't know better. You trusted wrong people because you were lonely. You wasted time because you were confused. You stayed silent because you were scared. Every version of you, even the one that failed, was doing its best with the tools it had. And now you have new tools: awareness, experience, pain, wisdom. You can't rebuild your life by punishing the person who carried you here. Think of yourself as a child who fell while learning to walk. Would you yell at that child? Would you say, "You're stupid for falling"? No. You would pick that child up, smile, and say, "Try again." That's what forgiveness means. It's the moment you look at your past self, the one who fell, and say, "It's okay. I understand. You didn't know better. But now I do." Forgive yourself the way you would forgive a child. Because inside you, that child is still trying to stand again. When you don't forgive yourself, you keep all your energy locked in the past. Every day, part of your mind is replaying old memories, old failures, old mistakes. That's why you feel tired even when you do nothing. Because your brain is fighting ghosts that no longer exist. But the moment you forgive yourself, you free that energy. You stop bleeding into old wounds. You stop punishing yourself for lessons that already taught you something. Forgiveness is not weakness. It is strength. It is saying, "Yes, I fell, but I refuse to stay on the ground." There was a woman who once had everything: a good job, friends, confidence. But she made one wrong decision. She trusted someone who betrayed her, lost her job, and fell into depression. For 3 years, she woke up every morning and said the same sentence: "This is all my fault." She replayed that one mistake again and again until it became her identity. One day, she met an old teacher who asked her, "If your best friend made the same mistake, would you forgive her?" The woman said, "Of course I would tell her it's not the end of the world." The teacher smiled and said, "Then why can't you tell that to yourself?" That night, she wrote a letter to her past self. She wrote, "I forgive you for not knowing better. I forgive you for staying silent. I forgive you for being scared. I forgive you for being human." She cried while writing it. But when she woke up the next morning, something had changed. Her face looked softer, her chest felt lighter, and for the first time in years, she said to herself, "I deserve a second chance." That's the power of forgiveness. It doesn't erase your past. It just releases your pain so you can finally move forward. Here's what you can do right now. You don't need any tools. You don't need anyone else's permission. You just need honesty. Write a letter to your old self. Don't filter it. Don't hide your pain. Tell your old self what you forgive them for wasting time, for loving the wrong person, for not believing in yourself, for staying too long in the wrong place, for giving up when you were tired. Then, at the end of the letter, write one simple sentence: "I forgive you, but I will not stay here anymore." Speak forgiveness aloud. When you're alone, look in the mirror. Don't avoid your reflection. Say out loud, "I forgive you for everything. You did your best. And now, we begin again." You'll be surprised how powerful those words feel. Because for the first time, you are talking to yourself with love, not judgment. Stop repunishing yourself. When an old memory comes back, and it will, don't start the same cycle again. Instead of saying, "I ruined my chance," say, "I learned my lesson." Instead of saying, "I was so stupid," say, "That mistake made me wiser." Each time you replace guilt with growth, You rebuild another piece of your foundation. Forgiveness gives you permission to start again, not from the same place, but from a higher one. It turns your past from a prison into a teacher. It turns your pain into experience. It turns your shame into understanding. Most people think change begins when you buy a new book, find a new job, or move to a new city. But true change begins the day you forgive yourself for being human. Because that's the day you stop running from the mirror and start walking toward the future. Think of a garden that has been ignored for years. It's full of weeds, dry soil, and fallen leaves. That garden is your life after pain. You've already cleaned the rubble in step 1, removed the broken stones and toxic plants. Now, before you plant new seeds, you must forgive the soil itself. You must say to it, "It's okay that you were dry. It's okay that you were empty. I know why. But now we will grow again." Forgiveness prepares the ground for growth. Without it, no new seed will survive, because deep inside, you'll still believe you don't deserve happiness. And nothing grows in a heart that believes it is unworthy. Every morning from now on, tell yourself this: I am not my past. I am not my mistakes. I am not what they said about me. I am rebuilding myself, and I forgive every version of me that came before this one. Say it slowly. Say it with meaning, because your brain believes the words it hears most often. If you keep speaking guilt, you will live in guilt. If you keep speaking forgiveness, you will live in freedom. Forgiving yourself does not mean you forget everything. It means you remember without pain. It means you can look back, nod, and say, "That was me, but it's not me anymore." It means your past no longer controls the direction of your future. You are not broken. You are becoming. You are not lost. You are learning the way. And every time you forgive yourself, you remove another invisible chain that was keeping you from flying. Step 3. Create a new identity. Now that you've cleaned the rubble, now that you've forgiven the old you, it's time to create a new identity. And I don't mean a fake mask. I mean the real you that has been buried under years of guilt, fear, failure, and noise. This is the moment where you stop asking, "What happened to me?" and start asking, "Who do I want to become from this moment forward?" Most people rebuild their lives by accident. They let life happen to them. They wait for something, a job, a person, an opportunity, to give them a direction. But rebuilding requires intention. You must decide what kind of life you want to live. And more importantly, what kind of person you must become to live that life. If you don't choose your identity, the world will choose it for you. You'll become what others say you are: the failure, the lazy one, the one who always gives up, the one who never finishes anything, the broken one. But these are labels, not truth, and labels become cages if you don't break them. Creating a new identity means writing a new story about who you are. And every story begins with a single sentence. From today, I am becoming someone new. But how do you actually do that? Let me show you. Name the identity you want to become. Say it out loud. Say it clearly. No more confusion. Who do you want to be? Here are some powerful examples. I am a focused and disciplined person. I am a kind, confident speaker. I am a calm and powerful decision maker. I am the kind of person who finishes what they start. I am a person who chooses peace over drama. Write yours. Say it daily. This is not fantasy. This is your new foundation. Act like that person before you feel like that person. This is the secret most people don't understand. You don't become confident after you feel confident. You feel confident after you act confidently for 30 days. You don't become productive by waiting for motivation. You become productive by acting like a productive person would, even when you feel lazy. Your actions create your identity, not the other way around. Delete the lies you've been living. There are stories you keep repeating that are no longer true. For example, I've always been bad at English. I can't focus for long. I always give up. Nobody believes in me. Each one is like a virus in your brain. If you don't delete them, they will destroy your progress. Replace them with truths. I'm learning to speak clearly every day. I focus longer than I used to. I keep going even when it's hard. I believe in myself even when others don't. Let me tell you about a man named Daniel. Daniel used to be angry, lazy, distracted, and always blaming others. He would say things like, "I'm just not the kind of person who can be focused," or, "I've always been like this. I can't change." But one day, after a serious breakdown, he asked himself, "What if I'm wrong about who I am?" So he made a decision. He wrote this sentence on a small piece of paper: "I am becoming a calm, focused, and powerful man." He read it every morning and every night. And more importantly, he started acting like it. He made a rule: no phone before 10 a.m. He started speaking slower, walking slower, breathing slower. He created a one-page plan for his day. Every morning, after 90 days, people started saying, "Daniel, you've changed. You're not the same person anymore." But the truth was, he wasn't becoming someone new. He was becoming who he always could have been, if he had removed the lies. Don't wait for the world to tell you who you are. Decide who you want to be, and then become that person in small actions daily. Rebuilding your life starts when you stop saying, "This is just who I am," and start saying, "This is who I choose to be now." Your new identity is not fake. It is your choice, and your choice is your freedom. Step 4. Build a survival routine. After you create your new identity, you'll feel excited. You'll feel motivated. You'll want to change everything quickly. But there's a problem. Life doesn't give you space to change easily. You'll still wake up tired. You'll still face distractions. You'll still feel the weight of everything you're trying to leave behind. That's why you need what I call a survival routine. A simple, non-negotiable structure that keeps you moving even when everything feels heavy. Let's understand this clearly. It's not a perfect schedule. It's not a 5 a.m. millionaire morning. It's not a long list of to-dos. A survival routine is the minimum set of actions that keep your mind, body, and spirit alive while you are rebuilding. It is the anchor that holds you when you feel lost. It is the bridge between who you are and who you are becoming. Why you need it? Because rebuilding your life is not always exciting. Some days you'll feel empty. Some days you'll feel nothing is changing. Some days your past will try to pull you back. On those days, you don't need motivation. You need a routine that runs even when your energy is low. You need simple steps that you follow without thinking. That's what a survival routine gives you. Let's build it together right now. It should include just 5 actions. Each one should take less than 10 minutes. You can add more later. But start here. Wake up ritual. Decide one rule for your morning. Example: no phone for the first 30 minutes. Drink a glass of water as soon as you wake up. Say one positive sentence aloud. This starts your brain with control, not chaos. Body activation. Move your body, even if just for 5 minutes. Do stretches, walk around your room, take deep breaths, jump in place. This wakes up your nervous system and tells your brain, we're alive. Let's go mind clarity. Write 3 sentences every morning. One thing you're grateful for. One thing you will focus on today. One sentence to encourage yourself. This clears mental noise and gives direction. Clean something small, make your bed, clean your desk, wipe one surface. This gives you one early win that signals order and progress. Learn one thing. Watch 5 minutes of an English video. Listen to an audio story. Read one paragraph from a book. This keeps your brain in learning mode and protects you from mental laziness. For example, there was a woman named Layla who had just lost her job. She felt depressed, lazy, and useless. She stayed in bed all day. But one morning, she heard a line in a video. Don't wait to feel better. Start with one tiny action. So she created her own survival routine. It was only 15 minutes long. Drink water. Stand outside for 3 minutes. Write one sentence. Listen to 5 minutes of English. Make her bed. She didn't feel better on day 1 or day 2. But by day 10, she was waking up earlier. By day 30, she had applied to 12 jobs. By day 45, she was hired again. Not because she had a big goal, but because she had a small system that worked even when she didn't feel like working. The human brain loves patterns. When you do the same tiny actions every day, your brain starts saying, this is who we are now. That's how you rebuild. Not by waiting for energy, but by building routines that protect your momentum. Don't build a perfect day. Build a survival system. A set of simple actions that say, even when I feel nothing, I will still rise. Because rebuilding is not about doing 100 things. It's about doing 5 things consistently, even when you feel broken. If you can keep walking through the storm, even one step at a time, you are already winning. Step 5. Move your body. Move your mind. There is one truth that almost no one talks about. If your body stays still, your mind will stay stuck. But if your body starts moving, your mind will follow. When you feel broken, lost, depressed, or anxious, your body reacts first. You sit more. You lie down longer. You curl up. Your shoulders drop. Your breathing slows. You begin to physically shrink yourself. And the longer you stay still, the heavier everything feels. Your energy disappears. Your confidence fades. Your thoughts become darker. But there's a secret weapon that can change all of that. It's movement. Simple, intentional movement. Every day. Even when you don't feel like it. Especially when you don't feel like it. This is not about having six-pack abs. This is not about weight loss or becoming an athlete. This is about saving your mind through your body. You see, your body and brain are connected by a two-way bridge. When your mind sends a signal, your body reacts. But the beautiful truth is this. When your body moves, it sends new signals back to your mind. So when you stretch, when you walk, when you dance, when you breathe deeply, your brain receives a message. I am still alive. I am still moving. I am not giving up. And that message becomes your new reality. Imagine a bicycle that's been left outside in the rain for years. It hasn't been used. The wheels are stuck. The chain is dry. The pedals are stiff. The rust covers everything. Now try to ride that bicycle. It won't move. Not because it's broken forever, but because it hasn't been used in a long time. But if you start oiling the chain, if you push the wheels a little every day, if you clean the rust slowly, it starts to move again. Day by day, little by little, the bicycle becomes smooth again. That's exactly what happens to your mind. When you stop moving your body, your mind becomes like that rusted bicycle, stuck, heavy, unbalanced. But the moment you start walking, stretching, breathing deeply, moving intentionally, you oil the chain. You wake up your brain. You remind your body, we're still alive. We're still moving. We're not done yet. Your mind doesn't need a miracle. It just needs movement. What kind of movement should you do? You don't need a gym. You don't need equipment. You don't need to spend money. All you need is a daily practice of simple movement. Here are a few that work powerfully. The 10-minute walk. Go outside. Walk without purpose. Don't check your phone. Let your thoughts float. Don't fight them. Walk like someone rebuilding their strength, because that's what you are doing. Stretching routine. Stretch your arms. Touch your toes. Roll your shoulders. Breathe in deeply. This opens your chest. And when you open your chest, you give your heart permission to feel again. Slow dancing, alone. Put on soft music. Stand alone in your room. Close your eyes. Let your body sway. You don't need rhythm. You need release. Let your pain move through your body, not sit in it. Micro exercise. Do 5 push-ups, 5 squats, 5 jumping jacks. Why? Because success starts with tiny wins. This tells your brain, we're not dead. We're still in the fight. Why this works? Because your body carries more than blood and bones. It carries emotion, memory, pain, and potential. When you move, you shake the pain loose. You give your mind something to focus on besides failure. You change your energy. You shift your state. And more importantly, you remind yourself that you are not stuck. Don't wait to feel motivated. Don't wait to feel ready. Move before your brain gives you permission. Because movement is not just exercise. It is medicine. If you can move your body, you can move your mind. And if you can move your mind, you can rebuild your life, one step at a time. Step 6. Train your mouth to speak powerfully. The words you speak shape the world you live in. And most people are slowly destroying their future by how they talk to themselves and to others. Your mouth is not just for communication. Your mouth is a weapon. It can build a new identity or kill the one you're trying to create. If you're trying to rebuild yourself but still saying things like, I'm such a mess, I'm so behind, I always fail, I can't do this, then your words are building a cage, not a future. When you speak something often enough, your brain starts to believe it. And once your brain believes it, you start acting like it's true. That's how a thought becomes a sentence. A sentence becomes a belief. A belief becomes your identity. And your identity shapes your life. So if you keep saying, I'm not good at this, your actions will follow that belief. But if you start saying, I'm learning, I'm improving, I'm becoming stronger, then even if you make mistakes, your mind sees them as part of growth, not failure. Imagine an old radio sitting in the corner of a quiet room. Every day, it plays the same station. But the station is full of static, noise, and negative messages. You can't do this. You're not enough. You always fail. You should just stop trying. The more that radio plays, the more the room fills with doubt and fear. Even if the room is beautiful, clean, and full of potential, the sound ruins the whole experience. But now imagine you change the station. You tune it carefully. You adjust the antenna. And suddenly, the voice changes. You're learning. You're getting stronger. You made it through another day. You're becoming someone powerful. The room hasn't changed. The furniture is the same. But the atmosphere, the feeling, becomes completely different. That's what your mouth is. Your mouth is the radio of your mind. If you keep speaking weak, fearful, negative words, your entire mental environment becomes heavy and dark. But when you speak strong, kind, clear words, your whole inner world begins to shine. You don't need to change everything in your life. Sometimes you just need to change your frequency. And it starts with the words you allow yourself to speak. This is not about lying to yourself. It's about using language as a tool to change your emotional state. Here's how you do it. Choose 3 power sentences to speak daily. Write them. Memorize them. Say them in front of the mirror. Here are examples you can use. I am rebuilding my life, one step at a time. Every day I speak, I grow more confident. I have made mistakes, but I am not a mistake. My voice matters. My future is stronger than my past. Stop using weak language. Eliminate phrases like, I'll try. Maybe. I can't. It's too late. I'm not ready. Replace them with, I will learn. I'm working on it. It's not easy, but I'm doing it anyway. This is my beginning, not my end. Speak your goals out loud. Don't just think them, say them. The sound of your own voice speaking belief builds inner strength. Example. By the end of this year, I will become confident in English. I will wake up every day with discipline. I will no longer live in fear. The more you say it, the more real it becomes. Because your words are the software of your brain. If your software is broken, your system crashes. But if your software is powerful, your system becomes unstoppable. You cannot rebuild yourself with weak words. You cannot create a powerful future with a powerless voice. The most important voice in your life is not your friends, not your teachers, not even your parents. It's your own voice. The one you hear when no one else is around. If that voice is full of fear, shame, and doubt, you will live a small life, even with big dreams. But if that voice becomes kind, strong, and determined, you will rebuild yourself into someone the world can never break again. So from today, train your mouth. Speak like the person you're becoming. Because your mouth is not just a voice. It is a mirror of your future. Step 7. Stack small wins daily. Rebuilding your life is not one big decision. It's not one motivational video, one therapy session, one weekend of change. It is a quiet battle, won through daily victories. And those victories must be small. Not because you're weak, but because you are rebuilding from the ground. You need stability, not pressure. You need confidence, not chaos. You need small wins, repeated every day, stacked on top of each other, until they become unstoppable momentum. A small win is something so simple, so achievable, that it feels almost too easy. But when you do it consistently, your mind starts changing. Like making your bed as soon as you wake up, drinking a glass of water before checking your phone, writing down one thought before breakfast, finishing a 5-minute English lesson, saying one sentence out loud in English, folding your clothes after laundry without delay, walking outside for just 7 minutes, preparing your bag the night before. These may look like nothing, but they are everything. Because each time you finish a small task, your brain gets a message. I am capable. I am moving. I am in control. Most people wait for motivation. They think, once I feel better, I'll do better. But real change happens in reverse. Do better, and you will start to feel better. Win small, and you will feel strong again. Stack victories, and you will believe in yourself again. This is how you reprogram your identity. Not with pressure, but with proof. Not with goals, but with victories. Not with big changes, but with small wins that build self-trust. Imagine an empty glass jar sitting on a table. Next to it is a huge pile of tiny pebbles. Small, simple stones. Each pebble is too small to make a difference on its own. But every day, you pick up one pebble and drop it into the jar. You do it again the next day, and the next, and the next. At first, it feels like nothing is changing. The jar still looks empty. But if you stay consistent, day by day, the jar starts to fill. One day, you look at the jar, and it's half full. Then, without warning, it's full to the top. Not because of one big stone, but because of hundreds of small, quiet actions. That's exactly what small wins are. Each one feels small. Making your bed, drinking water, writing one sentence, studying for 5 minutes, saying no to one bad habit. But every time you do it, you're dropping a pebble into your mental jar. You are building confidence. You are creating proof. I said I would, and I did. And that proof becomes belief. In the end, your life is not changed by one big win. It's changed by hundreds of small wins, stacked daily, until one day you look in the mirror and realize, I'm not empty anymore. I'm full. I've grown. Create a win tracker. Every morning, write down 3 tiny goals. They must be so small that you can't fail. Examples: make my bed, drink water, watch 3 minutes of English video, write one sentence about my day, stretch for 2 minutes. At night, check them off. This gives your brain proof. I said I would, and I did. That's how trust is rebuilt. Never break the chain. Make a calendar. Put an X every day you complete your 3 small wins. Soon you'll see a chain of X's. Your only job: don't break the chain. Because when you protect your chain will protect your momentum. Don't chase perfection. Chase consistency. If you miss one win, forgive yourself. And continue. This is not about being perfect. It's about showing up. Even on your worst day, you can still win something. Even when you have no energy, you can still complete one small task. That one win could be the reason you don't give up. Because when people feel broken, they feel powerless. They stop trusting themselves. And when self-trust is broken, even the smallest promise feels impossible. But when you collect small wins, you say, I trust myself again. I finish what I start. I may be broken, but I'm not done. Your new life is not built in a day. It is built in tiny bricks stacked daily, until your strength becomes unshakable. Step 8. Find purpose in pain. Let's be honest. Life doesn't just hurt us. Sometimes it breaks us. And when that happens, we ask, why me? Why did I lose them? Why did this happen to me when I was trying so hard? Why does life feel so unfair? But there's a deeper truth hidden inside those questions. Pain is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of your purpose. We're taught to see pain as something bad, something we must run from. But the people who change the world, the people who rise from ashes, they all have one thing in common. They turned their pain into power. Pain is a teacher. Pain is a message. Pain is a mirror that shows you what truly matters. And pain, when understood, becomes purpose. Write down the pain that shaped you. Be specific. Don't just say, I had a hard life. Say, I was rejected by someone I loved. I failed something I worked hard for. I was ignored, embarrassed, hurt. I struggled with addiction, anxiety, pressure. Now ask yourself, what did this pain teach me? What part of me became stronger because of this? What can I do now that I couldn't do before? You'll be surprised. Many times, your biggest pain becomes your deepest understanding of life. Help someone who is going through the same thing. The fastest way to find purpose in pain is to use it to help someone else. When you speak your truth, your raw, real story, someone out there says, "Thank you. I thought I was the only one." Pain shared with the world becomes a message. A message becomes a mission. And your mission becomes your reason to rise every morning. Imagine a pot made of clay. One day it falls and cracks badly. The owner doesn't throw it away. Instead, they try to fix it using a special ancient Japanese method called kintsugi, which means to repair with gold. They fill the cracks with melted gold. They don't hide the broken parts. They make them visible and beautiful. Now, the pot doesn't just hold water. It tells a story. It carries strength, and it becomes more valuable than it was before. That's what your pain can be. When life cracks you, when you lose someone, fail deeply, or feel shattered inside, you have two choices. Hide your cracks. Pretend they never happened. Break silently, again and again. Fill them with purpose. Let your pain become gold. Let your scars become wisdom. Let your story become light for someone else in the dark. Pain doesn't have to make you weaker. It can make you more powerful, more human, more real, more beautiful. The cracks don't ruin the pot. They reveal where the gold flows. Your pain is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of your purpose. What happened to you was unfair. It was painful. It was real. But it does not have to be pointless. Your story can save someone's life. Your suffering can guide someone who is lost. Your breakdown can become someone else's breakthrough. Don't let pain close your heart. Don't let it make you bitter or silent or small. Let it open your soul. Let it become your fire. Let it teach you what no book, no teacher, no course ever could. Because some lessons are written in blood and tears. And those lessons carry the deepest power of all. From today, say this: I will not waste my pain. I will turn it into purpose. And that purpose will rebuild me into someone the world cannot ignore. Step 9. Build the discipline muscle. Here's a truth most people avoid. You will not always feel motivated. You will not always feel excited. You will not always feel strong. But if you want to rebuild yourself, you must understand this one law of transformation. Discipline is stronger than motivation. Discipline is the force that gets you moving. Even when your heart is tired, your mind is heavy, and your emotions are screaming, "Not today." You see, rebuilding is not a one-time decision. It is a series of choices made every single day, even when no one is watching, even when no one claps, even when it feels like nothing is changing. Discipline is doing the right thing, especially when it's the last thing you feel like doing. You don't wake up with discipline. You train it like a muscle. You stretch it, you tear it, you push it. And over time, it gets stronger. In the beginning, it feels uncomfortable. You'll want to stop. Your old habits will try to pull you back. You will hear voices in your head saying, "You've done enough. Take a break. One day off won't hurt. Why work hard if no one notices?" But here's the truth. Discipline is not about being hard on yourself. It's about being committed to the version of you that's waiting on the other side of consistency. You don't lose momentum by failing once. You lose momentum by failing and staying down. Discipline is what helps you stand up again, even after you fall. It is what makes you return to your plan, even after a lazy day. It is what makes you keep your promises to yourself, even when no one else would know if you broke them. Imagine a long metal water pump in the middle of a dry desert. You're thirsty, tired, lost, and someone tells you, if you pump that handle long enough, clean water will come. So you walk up to the pump. You start pushing the handle up and down. 1 time, 10 times, 50 times. But nothing happens. It feels useless. The ground is still dry. You start to doubt the pump. You wonder if something's broken. You think, why should I keep going if I can't see results? But what you don't realize is that deep underground, something is happening. With every push, pressure is building. With every effort, water is being pulled closer to the surface. And then, when you least expect it, the water bursts out. Clear, fresh, powerful. And once it starts flowing, you no longer need to push hard. It flows easily. That's exactly how discipline works. In the beginning, it feels like nothing is changing. You're showing up, working hard, staying consistent. But there's no result. That's the silent phase of discipline, where the reward is still hidden, underground. But if you stop pumping too soon, if you quit before the water reaches the surface, you walk away just before the breakthrough. Discipline is what keeps your hands moving even when your heart doesn't feel it yet. And once the flow begins, you build momentum. It becomes easier. You become stronger. Because the hardest part wasn't the work. It was trusting the invisible reward. So from today, remember this. I will keep pushing. I will keep showing up. Because I know what's underground is rising. And one day, it will overflow. Discipline is the pump. Your dreams are the water. And your job is to not stop pumping. Start ridiculously small, but stay consistent. Discipline is not about doing 100 things in one day. It's about doing one small thing every day until it becomes part of your identity. Pick one habit. Write one sentence. Speak English for 5 minutes. Walk around your block. Meditate for 2 minutes. Do it daily, no matter how you feel. This is how the muscle grows. Remove decision-making from the process. Discipline dies when you have too many choices. Don't ask yourself, should I do this today? Make the decision once. Then act like there is no other option. Discipline is not about motivation. It is about routine plus commitment plus emotionless action. Create consequences and rewards. Reward yourself when you stay consistent, not with junk food, but with something positive. A longer walk, a quiet rest, a moment of gratitude. And when you skip, reflect. Ask, why did I skip? Don't punish, but don't ignore it either. You can't grow what you won't admit. Discipline is the only bridge between your dream life and your current life. Without it, everything else becomes fragile. Discipline is not punishment. It is freedom. It is the promise you make to your future self, and the proof that you're serious about becoming someone greater. So from today, tell yourself, motivation can visit me, but discipline will live with me, because people who rely on motivation rise and fall. But people who train the discipline muscle, they rebuild themselves into giants. Step 10. Create distance from the old life. Let me ask you something powerful. If a caterpillar wants to become a butterfly, can it stay in the same place where it crawled? No, because transformation requires separation. You cannot rebuild your life while staying inside the ruins of your past. You cannot become someone new while living inside everything that reminds you of the old version of you. That means you must create distance. Emotional, physical, digital, environmental. From the things, people, habits, and places that represent who you used to be. We're all creatures of comfort. Even our pain becomes familiar. Even our old life, though broken, feels safe because it is known. But here's the harsh truth. You cannot rebuild your life inside the house that broke you. You must move. Not always physically, but mentally, spiritually, habitually. You must create new space for the new you. Types of distance you must create. Environmental distance. Clean your room. Rearrange your space. Burn the old letters. Donate the clothes that carry pain. Delete the songs that pull you into memories. Your environment affects your mind more than you think. A messy, dark, cluttered room tells your brain, we are still stuck. But a bright, clean, reorganized space tells your brain, we are starting again. Digital distance. Unfollow the accounts that make you feel behind. Mute the voices that keep you angry. Unsubscribe from negativity. Social media should not be a window into your old life. It should be a mirror that reflects your new values. Every scroll should say, this is who I'm becoming. Not, this is who I used to be. Relational distance. This one hurts, but it's often necessary. There are people who don't want you to grow, not because they hate you, but because your growth will remind them that they're still stuck. You must learn to love people from a distance. You can care about someone without allowing them to control your energy. If someone makes you feel small, weak, guilty, or fake, you don't need to hate them. You just need to protect your peace, create space. Even silence is a decision. Imagine standing at the base of a giant mountain just before sunrise. Behind you is darkness, the valley you came from. In front of you is light, the top of the mountain glowing with a rising sun. But there's a problem. As long as you stand at the base, the mountain's own shadow covers you. Even though the sun is rising, even though the world is waking up, you're still standing in cold darkness. Not because there is no light, but because you're too close to the mountain that blocks it. That's what happens when you try to rebuild your life while standing too close to your old life. You've changed. You've grown. But if you stay in the same environment, around the same energy, inside the same routines, habits, places, and people, you stay in the shadow of your past. No matter how hard you try to rise, you will feel like light never reaches you. But if you climb higher, if you create distance from the base, if you walk away from the old version of you, step by step, you start to see the sun. You feel warmth. You see more clearly. And the shadow no longer touches you. Because now, you're not standing where the old you fell. You're standing where the new you can finally grow. You don't have to hate the valley you came from. You don't have to fight the shadows. You just need to keep climbing. Create distance, not because you're running away, but because you're finally walking toward the light. Distance is not abandonment. Distance is healing. It gives you room to breathe, think, and grow. The old life will always whisper to you, come back. It's easier here. But the new life, it waits for you quietly, beyond your comfort zone. So from today, Make this promise. I will stop rebuilding in the ruins. I will create space. I will create silence. I will create distance, not to run from the past, but to walk toward my future. Because you cannot become the new you if you keep standing in the exact same place where the old you died. Step 11. Protect the rebuilt you. You've done what most people only dream of. You stood back up. You faced your past. You removed what was killing you. You created new routines. You built strength, courage, discipline, and purpose. You didn't just survive. You rebuilt yourself. But now comes the most important step of all. You must protect what you have rebuilt. You must guard the new version of you, like a castle protecting its king. Because if you don't protect it, the world will try to break it again. Rebuilding is not a one-time event. It is a new life. And just like any new life, it is fragile in the beginning. Like a newborn tree growing from dry soil, like a fresh wound beginning to heal, like a new flame burning quietly in the wind. If you don't protect it, the wind will blow it out. The past will return. Old habits will knock on your door. Toxic people will test your boundaries. Your own doubts will try to come back, wearing a new mask. That's why you must now become a guardian of your growth, not just a student of change, but a protector of peace. 3 things you must protect from now on. 1. Protect your environment. Your mind grows where it is planted. If you rebuild yourself in a clean, focused, peaceful place, you grow faster. But if you allow chaos to return, the new you will get confused. You must now become careful with what you allow in your room, what you keep on your phone, what you watch, listen to, scroll through, what you tolerate in your space. Protect your physical environment like a sacred temple. If it doesn't give you energy, remove it. If it doesn't reflect who you are becoming, replace it. Your environment is your mirror. Keep it clean, calm, and built for growth. 2. Protect your energy. Some people don't deserve access to you anymore. Not because they are evil, but because they are still living in the past you left behind. If you let every opinion, every judgment, every angry message enter your heart, you will slowly become the person you worked so hard to leave. Not everyone needs to understand your journey. Not everyone needs to agree with your healing. Not everyone deserves a seat at your new table. You have the right to protect your energy. You have the right to say no. You have the right to block, ignore, and walk away. You don't owe everyone your presence, especially those who only bring pain. You are no longer available for disrespect. You are no longer available for guilt. You are no longer available for small talk with people who laughed when you were in pain. You are here now to protect your peace. 3. Protect your identity. This is the most important one, because the world will try to drag you back into your old self. It will test you. You'll face a moment when someone says, "You've changed." Say this with pride. "Yes, I have, and I'm never going back." Your old self will whisper sometimes, "Are you sure this is you?" But remind yourself, this is who I fought to become. You are no longer the version of you who breaks under pressure. You are no longer the version who accepts disrespect. You are no longer the version who puts others above your mental health. Protect your new self from your old habits, your old fears, your old excuses, and your old thinking. This is your second life now, and you earned it through fire. Don't give it away casually. There was a man named Elias. He had rebuilt his life after years of addiction and depression. He moved to a new city, built a new business, created a morning routine, found peace. But one day, an old friend came to visit. The friend brought alcohol, old stories, old energy. And just for one night, Elias gave in. He said, "One night won't hurt." But one night became a week, and that week became a relapse. All the progress, all the discipline, all the healing, gone. Not because Elias was weak, but because he forgot to protect the new version of himself. Months later, when he restarted his journey, he said something powerful. "This time, I'm not just rebuilding. I'm building walls around my peace. Because what I built with pain, I won't let comfort destroy." Here are your daily protection practices. Morning reminder. Every morning, speak this sentence. Today, I protect my peace. Today, I honor the person I'm becoming. Today, I do not return to what broke me. Create non-negotiables. These are actions you do no matter what. Wake up without phone. 10 minutes of movement. One small win. Say no to one negative trigger. These actions are not optional. They are your shield. Audit your surroundings weekly. Every Sunday, ask, what made me feel heavy this week? Who drained me? What habit returned quietly? What strengthened me? Then adjust. Weekly reflection is your early warning system. Create your peace list. List 5 things that give you peace. When the world feels heavy, do one of them immediately. This reminds your mind what safety feels like. You are no longer the broken version of you. You are no longer surviving. You are now rising. You are now reborn. But every version of you that came before, the one who cried alone, the one who stayed silent, the one who didn't believe in themselves, they are still watching you from inside. They are whispering, "Don't let us down again. You're the one we were waiting for. You didn't come this far to go back. You didn't rebuild your soul to let someone else shake it. You didn't fight to find your light, just to live in someone else's shadow. So from today, protect your peace like it's sacred. Protect your habits like they are gold. Protect your identity like it's the only thing keeping you alive. Because it is. If you've made it here, I want to tell you something. I'm proud of you. Not because you watched a long video, not because you followed steps, but because you're still here, reading, listening, breathing, choosing life, even when life feels heavy. That means you're serious about change. That means there's still fire inside you. You may not feel ready. You may not feel strong, but you are here. And that is enough. You don't need permission to rebuild. You don't need anyone's approval to begin. You are not late. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are becoming. This video was never just about motivation. It was about giving you a mirror, to show you what's still possible, to show you who you can still become. And if you ever forget that, come back to this video, watch it again, not because it's perfect, but because you are worth fighting for. And if this video touched you, if it made you feel seen, strong, or understood, then I ask you to do 2 things. 1. Subscribe to this channel, because we don't make videos for views. We make videos for your transformation. And every new video will be a new step in your journey. 2. Share this with one person, someone you know is silently breaking. Let this video be the voice that saves them. Thank you for being here. You are not alone. You are not done. Your best days are not behind you. They begin today. Let's rebuild together.